Right guys, back with just a quick little video update. My head's been all over the place this last week and I've not been able to do any filming. Obviously in my last video I mentioned that I was going to get a screen protector for the Android head unit for anti-glare. Obviously I've got a soft top. When the roof's down, sunlight hits it, it hits it hard. But obviously it's also going to be an issue for people without a convertible, because I've noticed when my roof's up I catch the light on it and it catches you unaware and blinds you when you're driving along. So I've been doing a little bit of playing around with it to see what I can do, and I cannot get the finish how I want it, because obviously if you've ever put a screensaver onto a phone or a tablet, you have to push those bubbles right out to the edges to get the bubbles out. And that's what I'm having issues with, because it's not flat. Obviously you've got the bezel around the glass, things like that. It's very, very difficult to get it on there. And also, let me turn you around. So this is just a practice patch that I've put on. I did put on a full one, and I was just getting bubbles everywhere. Obviously part of my issue, when you need to clean the screen first. So if you look down here, there's all bits on here where I'm wiping it, but you can't wipe it right off of the screen. So I'm getting bubbles around the edges where I've got bits of fluff and stuff on the screen. I have done, see in there, again, I've put a bit in there. From me sitting in my driver's seat, I can't see those bubbles, but those bubbles are there. And you just can't get, it's so deep in there, you can't push the bubbles out to the edges. Obviously this is a 7-year-old display that's going to be dirty. I've tried cleaning it as best I can, but it's still picking up bits of fluff or something on that plastic, and you have to be so careful because it's quite flexible and it's an LCD screen. So I've done that badly. That was the third attempt. So if I push down into this corner, they're just not, you just can't get the bubbles out. So, and I'm running out of this matte screen protector. So obviously that there, you can see the difference. There's my back window. If I come across here, you can't see the back window. You can still make out me a little bit with the camera, but you can see the difference. If I turn the screen on, let's let that boot up a second. And again, if that was completely over the whole screen, you wouldn't know it was there. I come over here, you can't see my phone. I move over here, you can see my phone. So this is going to have the effect. Obviously it still works with the touchscreen and everything underneath it. That's all fine. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to remove this. I've got two options. I can either cut a square that's going to leave a border around the edge, which I don't want to do. I don't want a border, because then you're still going to get sunlight catching it in places. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to remove the head unit, take this front bezel off, wipe the whole screen completely clean, and then put on a full piece that's bigger than the actual screen itself, because there is a gap top and bottom and around the edges where it overlaps. So to do the job properly, I need to remove the whole head unit, remove the bezel, which I've done in another video. It's not difficult to do, and treat it as a flat surface, flat tablet without the bezel around the edge. I am also going to try and put some tape behind these lights. So obviously when I turn my lights on now, they're quite bright and they're a different colour to these. So I'm going to put some tape behind them to just to dull them down a little bit, so they're not as bright. I'm not sure. I have been doing a few tests with electrical tape. Just one moment, let me just show you. So that's one piece of blue electrical tape, and it's dulled it down a heck of a lot. So what I'm going to do when I remove the bezel is I'm going to put a strip of blue electrical tape along behind these lights, so that they're a lot dimmer. It's so I'd love to be able to get them to match this exactly, but I'm not going to be able to. I've tried putting white on there, it makes no difference. I've tried green, it still shines through brighter than it does on the blue. So my next video, hopefully I can get round to this tomorrow. My daughter's on Easter holiday, so it's very hard for me to film, and I'm back at work on Thursday, but I am in the process of sorting this out. I'll put a link in the description below to the film that I'm using, and I'll try and get your video out by the end of the week with the whole screen covered with this. But you can see it does make a difference. If I open up, let's go maps. Oh, it's not going to, my Wi-Fi's not turned on, is it? I need something where I've got a picture on that screen. No, well, yeah. It's highlighted more on the camera.
And that's written by guitarist Brian May, who contributed some nice noises to the track.
Down. That's highlighted more. Like you see, you can hardly see it. Once that whole screen's covered, you wouldn't know it was there unless the ignition is off. Then it stands out. But with the whole screen covered, it won't be as noticeable, obviously. But like I say, you can see it takes away the glare. Definitely. In fact, that's almost like a mirror image there. That's not. So I'll try and get as much of this on camera as I can. Like I said, I've got my daughter at home with me. She's off school for Easter. So we're going to have to take the head unit out. I think there's 4 or 6 screws holding the bezel in place, and then we'll go from there. But I've only got one shot at it because I've only got one sheet of this stuff left. So I've got to get it right. And I don't want to rush it. So I'll see you all in the next video when we've got this apart and trying to sort it out, because it is quite a big issue. The sun catches it, blinds you, and it's a bit dangerous, really. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next video.